Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to AstroBeauty, where we take makeup and we take moon signs and we put them together for makeup-y, astrology, moon signy goodness to help us go through our day in the best way we can. Today, the moon is in Cancer, and today I was really wanting to try to embrace the mother moon goddess archetype. I just need a little bit of that today. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to try to create a super luminous moon look, and I'm going to use some blues around my eyes and, of course, some white shimmers and some shimmers on my face, and we're just going to see how it goes. I don't have everything completely planned out, but I have an idea. So let's put our face makeup on, and then we can come back and we can talk about the astrology, the moon in Cancer, what it means for all you Cancer people for the next couple days, and how it's going to match our makeup. See you in a minute. All right, everyone, so here we are, back with our Moon in Cancer face makeup to talk about the Moon in Cancer on our episode of Astro Beauty today. So, what do we need to say? The Moon is in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the Moon. So, when the Moon goes through Cancer, we pretty much just talk about the Moon and what the Moon reverberates to in every single one of us, which is our emotions, our feelings, our internal self, our internal nature, our internal emotional responses to things, which then manifest in usually what we do, because a lot of times as humans, unless we have very developed sense of self-control, which we're all getting to, emotional drives and emotional feelings can be what inspires action, And so because of that, the moon, even though it's the moon, is probably one of the most crucial and important and powerful planets in terms of really controlling behavior on Earth. And that's why I always say it's a trigger planet, because it, Like, the moon is strong, man. And it's like, honestly, like, I feel like it's like some type of mind control device or something. It's weird. But whenever the moon moves, make aspects with different planets and their electromagnetic frequencies, and like changes signs and the frequency that it's reverberating, it literally like pulls the tides of our minds and can make us feel different ways and then act in different ways. So we pay attention to the moon. And today, the moon is in Cancer. And Cancer is the sign of the mother moon, and nurturing, caring for the home, the family, just basically taking care of, cultivating, loving, tenderness, all of the more maternal type characteristics, feeling emotional. It's a water sign, you know, those things. The home, yes. So for my moon in Cancer look today, it's been a rough week, we'll put it that way. I don't know how the full moon phase went for all of you out there, but we had a lot to deal with here at AstroBeauty. So today, I need to channel my inner moon goddess, and so that's what I'm going to try to do in my makeup and in my outfit. I put on like the prettiest Cancer shirt that I could find, just because I need to feel pretty today and I want to feel loved and taken care of, and so that's what I'm going to do for myself. Let's get in the mood for some self-care and some self-nurturing and some self-love with this Cancer moon. So look at me, only 3 minutes in. Holy moly, I think it's a record. Let's talk about the makeup. So for my makeup today, hold on. Do you guys like my Cancer mug? I try to theme my coffee mugs to the Astrology just because it never stops. I just want everything themed. Weird. But yes, so that was my Cancer mug. My Cancer mug is the mug I use when the moon is in Cancer. Okay, so for my makeup today, I wanted to just kind of go with like a very luminous look, but I also want to play off sort of the blue that I'm wearing in my moon goddess shirt. It's just what I'm calling it. It's not really a big deal, but we're just pretending, okay? So I'm actually, and I like blue. I like wearing blue. I don't necessarily, I mean, it's a water sign, so let's just wear some blue today, okay? And I'm going to do kind of just like a light shimmery neutral eye, but then I'm going to go along my lash line like a liner and underneath my eye with kind of a more like bright blue, just because I want to. And today it's about self-care and self-love, so let's just do what makes us feel good. And for me, it's going to be bright blue around my eyes. Not like Aquarius, not like so big and bold, but just shimmery blue, okay? So let's start. First, I need to prime my eyes, and let's talk about what happens this month as the moon goes into Cancer. Well, what we do know is that right now, the thing that I always talk about, the grand conjunction coming up with Saturn and Pluto. Saturn recently went direct, so that's important. Don't let me forget to say that again. So yeah, but we know that Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node are in Capricorn. And where is Capricorn in relation to Cancer? Oh yes, they're oppositions. So if we know the South Node is in Capricorn, then the North Node must be in Cancer, because the North Node and the South Node are opposites, always opposites. So that means y'all Cancer ascendants, and when the moon goes through Cancer, or if you have planets in Cancer, then you are nestled right up against our little north node, our little destiny point, where we're going, where all of these things that are shaking us up and messing with us are eventually trying to get us to a point to be at. Yes. And so what does that mean for you and for us as the moon goes through Cancer? Let's think about it. But first, let's put on our base shade. Now I'm thinking I'm going to use my fave out of my Pink Nudes Pacifica palette. This guy. We're just going to do a general dusting across the whole lid. It's a nice white moony color to get us started on our makeup journey for today. So if the North Node is in Cancer and the Moon is going into Cancer, then it means that the North Node is going to, or the Moon is going to conjunct the North Node, and it's going to oppose Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node. So that's basically like the time of month when the moon goes through Cancer, where we all emotionally are kind of aligning with where we are trying to get to and seeing, you know, how close we are maybe, or like where we're at in terms of where we need to be going. All right. So, all right, now I'm going to go into my Cosmic Reflect palette. This guy. Super excited about him. It's called Quartz. And we are going to take our little elf brush, and I am going to do this like above my eye. The whole thing pretty much, just not quite up to the brow bone. I love these new hemp shadows. I think they're great. I don't know. More people should use hemp in their shadows. Back to this brush. Something about it just fits my eye. All right, so yeah, guys, every month the moon goes into Cancer for like 2 or 3 days-ish. And when that happens, it conjuncts the North Node, and we basically get an emotional glimpse, per se, of where we're at in relation to where we're going in terms of our, individual Saturn, Pluto, South Node struggles as we try to develop to the higher versions of ourselves for the conjunction in January 2020, which we will do. But yeah, so with the moon conjuncting the North Node, that also means that it's opposing that situation, which means it's like we kind of see where we're at in terms of reaching that North Node, that destiny point, by how emotionally triggered we are still by that whole unit that's sitting across from the moon. So when the moon, our emotions, opposes all of that, looks at all of that over there, how we feel about it and then how we act is probably going to be a good indicator of where we're at on that journey. So, and because of the way the planets are placed right now, like I said, Saturn just went direct. So this is probably going to be like a pretty big Cancer moon, because it will be the first time that the moon opposes Saturn since it has turned back direct. So basically Saturn has been going backwards, and this is not like an astronomical thing. It's an astrological thing. My teacher said that in her recording the other day, and I should say that also. So like it's not actually going backwards, but it appears to be going backwards. So therefore we read the energy as like an internalization, like a redoing of things type deal. All right, now I am going to use my Zuzu Luxe in the color Skylar, this blue. I love this. And this is going to be like my crease color, just this like light shimmery blue. They're not super pigmented, but they're just enough. Yeah, so that will probably be the South Node and Saturn are actually super conjunct right now. Like they're the most conjunct. Pluto is a few degrees out. So actually what will happen is the moon will conjunct the South Node, which is the past, our like what we're coming from, like our baggage that we bring with us, karma basically. And it's conjunct 1 degree off right now from Saturn, which is also the planet of karma and also duty, obligation, like rising to a standard, basically like being mature. Saturn also forms and structures things. And so with the two situations, the South Node and Saturn, that both represent karma and the past and like long-standing things, like right there together, and then the moon's gonna come through. Look how pretty. The moon's gonna come through and make the opposition while it conjuncts the North Node for the first time since Saturn went direct. That is something we should all probably be like aware is happening, because we could feel like quite emotionally like there could just be things that happen that transpire, especially now that Saturn is moving direct and kind of releasing things that have been held back for a while, depending on what area of life that happened for us in. So there's that. That will happen. The moon will oppose that first. And then, because they are a few degrees out from Pluto, then the moon will continue on and will oppose Pluto as well. And Pluto is the great grand purger. Like Saturn is like the long-standing things like that have been there for time, and that like it's restructuring, it's the past, it's time, it's like the long-standing order of things. And Pluto is like the phoenix, sort of. It like burns everything down to like get it to its like most pure state and then builds it back up in a better form. So that's why like everyone is saying, and I'm saying, that this, what we're coming to, this grand conjunction in January, is such a big deal, because because it's in Capricorn, like it's the South Node, the planet of karma and the baggage we bring with us. Saturn, the planet of karma and long-standing generational issues, basically, and Pluto, the grand purger and transformer, all coming together in the sign of Capricorn. So that's what, and each month, the aspects that are happening individually to all of us are moving us forward towards that. I'm just going to go around my eye with this now. So yeah, the moon, first it will conjunct the North Node and oppose the South Node and Saturn for the first time since Saturn has gone direct. So we proceed with caution those days. And then the next, well, a few hours later, or possibly the next day, I'm not sure exactly like how it goes, it will then oppose Pluto. So the moon is kind of like lining itself up with our destiny, and then looking at how much karma and baggage and restructuring we still have left to do, and then moving on to go ahead and purge that out. So it might, I would say, and I don't want to say this, I want to say it's going to be great. It's all wonderful, and all of us are going to have butterflies and lollipops and Barbie palettes. But I also like to be a realist here at AstroBeauty. So I'm going to just say that I don't know what's happening for you, but this may be an emotionally intense couple of days as our little moon mind control device, whatever she is, goes through the sign of Cancer and meets with Saturn and the South Node and Pluto after Saturn has just recently gone direct. All right, I'm going to curl my lashes, because then I'm going to do, isn't that so pretty? It's just the exact light blue that I was wanting for my moon goddess vibe. Let's be in control of our emotions and not let them control us. And, you know, what I say to you, I'm really saying to myself too, and I really need to do a better job of probably taking my own advice. But we try. So yeah, I'm going to use my priming pencil in a minute to do a line and then go over with the blue, but I don't want to mess that up with this eyelash curler, so let's just curl and talk. All right, so I've said this a little bit backwards. I'm going to say the third thing, but it's actually the order. This is the second thing that will happen. Okay, so Pluto, the moon opposing Pluto is actually the third thing because of the way that the degrees like line up. But actually, what will happen before the moon opposes Pluto is that it will then, so it will blah, 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 blah. It will conjunct the North Node and oppose the South Node and Saturn. And then it will form a grand trine. It will form a trine, well, not a grand trine, because there's not, no. It will form a trine aspect, which is a facilitating aspect, an aspect of ease with that whole situation that's going on in Pisces right now. Neptune and the Black Moon. And what are they doing? Oh, they're trying to bring clarity or disillusionment or dissolve our shadows or traumas or deeply held beliefs regarding various aspects of our life that are holding us back and preventing us from becoming our true authentic selves and potential, which is what we're going towards in the North Node in Cancer. So it really makes sense. If the North Node in Cancer is where we're going, then it makes sense that while the moon aligns with that and we kind of get a check on where we're at in relation to the release of our karma, South Node and Saturn, that the next thing that would happen would be that the moon would trine off with the situation that's going on to do what I just said, bring clarity or disillusionment and dissolve our shadow issues. Because Lord knows we can't move to our destiny point, to our North Node, to our future, to where we're going after the Grand Purge, if we still are if we're still like encumbered by our Black Moon, like our shadow side and our traumas. So a huge part of that process, getting to that North Node, is dissolving Neptune or healing shadow side, Black Moon trauma issues. So that happens with the moon right after we check in with the South Node and Saturn. And then we move on to the opposition with Pluto to purge and destroy everything that we don't, that is hindering us along our path towards that. I really need a new eyelash curler. I have another one, but it's not sitting here right now, and I don't want to keep running back there. So my eyelash may not be the most curled today, but we'll just have to deal with it. So that's our kind of like if, if astrology was a chiropractor, which is really funny because of Chiron, chiropractor. I don't know. I just find humor in weird stuff. But yeah, like if astrology was a chiropractor, then like this month our alignment comes from our emotional body checking in with where we're at in terms of our karma load, then assisting us again in dissolving or healing our shadow issues because the trine is an aspect of assistance. And then moving on and opposing Pluto, the grand purger, the grand clearer, the grand cleaner outer, to alleviate those issues. So we may be in for a very transformative couple of days, and hopefully, well, I say hopefully, but I shouldn't say hopefully, because, it's really about intention. Like, what are you going to do? But, all right, I'm going to put this priming pencil from Pacifica. I really love these pencils. Right across my lash line. And then I'm going to go over that because it will create like a more like bright color. What was I just saying? I don't remember. So, I'm sorry, but I guess we'll just move on. So that's what's going on for all of us generally as the moon goes through Cancer this month. There's more to say, but I feel like those three things are kind of the juice. Like, I feel like that's where, it's not a long period of time. It's only a couple days. So that's just the energy that are going to be going on. So if your life does encounter something like that, just realize checking our karma status, getting help, healing, or getting rid of those shadow issues. Hopefully not just like avoiding them or pretending that they're not like real, or being like disillusioned or whatever. And then opposing Pluto and going in for the purge. So that's what she's got. Now let's talk about you guys who are ascendants in Cancer and what exactly that means for you. All right. I am going to use, for my blue, I want it to be shimmery today. I don't want it to be matte. So I'm going to go into this little blue. I've used this before on my channel. It's called Boysenberry. It's from the All Natural Face. I am an all natural makeup channel. That's what I am. That's what I do. And that's what I love. And I do that for a very specific reason. Would you like to know? It's because our skin is made up of bajillions to trillions of pores. And it's really the largest organ on our body. And everything that goes onto our skin is sucked into our skin and then into our blood and then filtered by our organs. And honestly, no matter how much we love makeup, we really don't need to like toxify our systems in any way, even if it's just minimally, to play with makeup and put makeup on our face and feel beautiful and paint our faces, because there are so many natural options and they're getting better and better and they're so good. And part of my AstroBeauty mission is to try as many as I possibly can and show how they work and how awesome they are, so that you too can have an unpolluted body from makeup, because everybody knows you can't walk out your door without having some type of pollutant. So let's just not make it be our makeup. And these products are amazing and beautiful and they work just as good, in my opinion. Anyways, so let's put this on and talk about you little Cancer ascendants. So, my dears, this is going to be quite bright. Now, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mix a tiny bit of this color, this purple-ish shade right here from my Beachy Punk palette, Pacifica, because I want this to be like a little bit purple and not just like completely blue. So let's see how it goes. I really wanted like a blue purple, but I don't know. For you guys, Cancer ascendants, that puts the North Node currently in your first house, and therefore it would put, I'm not going to be able to do that. It would put the Saturn South Node and Pluto in your 7th, 1st and 7th. So that means that for you guys, you're going to be undergoing very personal changes in order to align with your authentic self. Like the rest of us have our destiny point in other areas of life. But for you guys, it's in your first house of personality. So that means in your personal expression and like how you interact, like how you like manifest life on earth, right? And so for you guys, it's literally about like personal changes. See? That you make to yourself, and that is what eventually is going to help you to align and come to the point you need to be at to reach your destiny, aka the more authentic version of yourself that you can carry into the future. after the Grand Conjunction. So the way I see it, with you guys having that in the first house, and if you have that in the first house, like I said, that puts all of your purging and transformative energy in the 7th house of partnerships and relationships. So for you, it's like transforming, purging, clearing away like past relationships, partnerships, baggage, and stuff in relation to those things. These relationship changes are going to be like what sets you free to align with your higher self, your more authentic self, and the self that will ultimately lead you down the path, like to whatever your purpose in this lifetime is. So for you guys, major relationship changes, or not necessarily even that, but cleaning, purging, transforming, restructuring, rebuilding in the realm of partnerships and relationships. Now, if you have the North Node and the South Node, Pluto, Saturn, on the 1st and 7th axis, then that puts that trine that's going on. See? That puts the trine that's going on with the black moon and Neptune in Pisces, the one that's trying to bring us to clarity and healing in regards to like our shadow side, like traumas, like things that are subconscious programming that holds us back and keeps us from like truly like being what we are supposed to be being. For you guys, that falls into the 9th house. And like I said in the beginning, because of the trine, that is the trine in aspect to the destiny point, the North Node, where we're all going, that is really trying to assist in getting us all there. So it's like you guys need to come to clarity or healing or about some type of like deep-seated belief system that there's a shadow around. Like, or, you know, in this case, I might even say like some type of like religious situation, because the 9th house rules religion too. But it seems like with the black moon and Neptune in your 9th house of knowledge, truth, beliefs, wisdom, also the father, and religions a lot of times can be associated with this. There's some type of like subconscious programming or belief system that is hindering you from becoming your authentic self, because it's the 9th house. And so that's what you guys need to do. That's what you guys need to work on. That's where the clarity and the healing needs to come through in order to get you to the place that you need to get to for your personal evolution. We all have it. We all have it somewhere. For you guys, it just seems like it would be in regards to some type of belief system or way of understanding things or perception of reality. Like there has to be a fundamental shift for you guys. There's some type of black moon. There's some type of shadow around 9th house beliefs, trust, truth, those things. And so as the moon goes through Cancer and makes that trine, hopefully there'll be something that happens for you guys each month that helps to kind of shake that up for you. And hopefully, you know, it's not too bad, but kind of shake that up for you and show you what needs to be shown to you in order to help you make those shifts and whatever, you know. It might not be like a religion or something like that. It might just be like deeply held beliefs about yourself or others, you know, 1st and 7th house, or what's on blast for you in terms of especially, or others, because that's where all your purging and transformation is happening in the 7th. So maybe that's what the beliefs that you need to change are about. Maybe it's not like a big picture, like religious or overview, like like belief systems about reality in life. Maybe it's about how you feel about yourself or other people. But regardless, some type of deep-seated belief system is hindering you, holding you back in some way, and it needs to be faced, transformed, and cleared, because that is what's important to keep you guys on your proper path. Yay! So pretty. So this is what I wanted to do. It's not like super bam bright, even though it is a really bright blue. I literally just lined my eyes with this color, and I think, and now I'm just going to go back with a little more of this Skylar color from Zuzu Luxe, which apparently they don't have a website, which I'm kind of bummed about because I wanted to order some of their products, but I guess you can really only buy them. You can buy them on like Amazon, but like everywhere you look, they have different stuff. They don't have like the whole collection anywhere, which is unfortunate because I really like their products. So I'm just going to use this little blending brush and put just a little bit more, like right above this line that I did. Because it's actually, next to this blue, it's looking more silvery, which is kind of what I wanted for my whole moon thing. All right, the next thing I'm going to say for you guys, because really we only need to talk about the moon when the moon goes into Cancer, because there is no other ruling planet. And so it really just is about what the moon is doing. So I'm going to talk about a few more aspects that the moon will make while it goes through your sign. And another important thing that it's going to do is it will sextile. The first thing that it will do as it goes into Cancer is it will make a sextile with Uranus in Taurus, which has recently gone retrograde. Yay! Perfect. Which has recently gone retrograde. So the very first, and sextiles are positive aspects generally. Like, they facilitate things, you know, they kind of help things happen. They're not very, like, harsh and critical. So, Moon Day. All right. I'm going to put a tiny bit actually in the corner. So yeah, the moon will first, before anything, before it lines up with the North Node and opposes Saturn, South Node, and then trines the Black Moon and Neptune, and then opposes Pluto, the first thing that it will do is sextile Uranus. So there's a possibility for as the moon first goes into Cancer, there's a possibility for some like surprising things, some like shakeups, maybe some like information coming out of nowhere, or like some type of like surprise or just shocking thing, or something just happened seemingly out of nowhere. That is something that you may, and if that happens, like everything that happens with Uranus right now, because it's in sextile, which is that positive aspect to the North Node, is facilitating, just like the trine, just like what's going on with the Black Moon and Neptune, because they're also in a positive aspect. They are trying to help bring us to that point. They're trying to help us develop. Every time that there's like a ping on those frequencies for us, they're trying to create events to help evolve us to that North Node because of that aspects that they're making. So as the moon goes into Cancer and then it hits off with Uranus, anything that Uranus might bring, any surprising thing, shock, accident, whatever, it's all to align with the higher and the best. So that's something that you guys should keep in mind too, is that because it's your sign, it's your ascendant, as the moon goes through there is that potential before any of it happens. Like that might be what sets off, you know, anything that causes you to feel like emotional about like things regarding like, you know, where you're at in terms of releasing your karma, which is not like a conscious thing. It's not like something like our conscious brains know. It's more like something that our higher selves know. So we can't really like say like, oh, I'm on stage 18B of realizing my final destiny or coming to my higher self. No, it's not like that. It's like our psyche and our like internal electromagnetic wiring is like trying to change frequencies, and it's like the things that happen to us are like incrementally like changing the frequencies inside of our bodies, which everything is electromagnetic vibrations. So frequencies changed inside of our bodies change what we do, like our external everything, like everything. So it's really more of that. Like it's not like something that we're necessarily conscious of. It's more like subtle things happening, impacting like our situations in certain ways that cause us to do something else in a certain way, and then that trajectory like changes things like over the long term ultimately. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I don't know. Okay, I have to do my face makeup. Let's get moving on this. For my blush today, I'm actually going to do cream. I'm not going to do powder because I really want to use this illuminator that I have that's cream, and I don't want to put it over powder. So today I'm going to use this Burt's Bees little stick guy right here in the shade Sands. I really like this color. And yes, this is the original Pacifica makeup palette. This was all they had for a really long time, this solar palette. And it's literally just shimmer shadows down here. This bronzer is really great. And then there's all of these cream highlighters up here. And I don't use this much, but I do when I do. And today I want to use this, or maybe this, but probably, you guys can't even see that. I want to use this, maybe this, but probably this. And you can't really see in this light right now how pretty it is, but it almost is like, it's like that color of nail polish where it looks clear, but then it also looks purple. You know what I mean? It's weird. So anyways, that's what I want to do for like my highlight, and so I need to keep it cream. And this is just like a very not bright but still pretty color. So that's what we're doing. All right, so yeah, we said for you guys, first Uranus will go through. You might get, surprises of some type or another. Any of those things that are happening are ultimately for the best. And then you will have the conjunction with your North Node, opposite with the South Node and Saturn. And that is, like I said, where we're kind of like seeing where we're at in terms of where we need to be on an emotional level. And then the trine from your 9th house with Neptune and the Black Moon, kind of like maybe doing some things to work on those shadow issues. And then the opposition from Pluto, just taking it all down or going real deep. So I don't know, maybe nothing will happen. I mean, the moon's been going through Cancer for a long time while these aspects have been in place. So, maybe maybe there won't really be any like big noticeable changes. But I do think because of the fact that Saturn has recently gone direct, and this will be the first time that the moon opposes Saturn since going direct, I do think that it's possible to see some things, maybe even like start moving forward, because Saturn's been really stagnating like a lot of things, I feel like. All right. I need to take a tiny bit of this foundation and just do this really quick. You see, the way my light is, the way this mirror is, this side I can see perfectly. This side is like a massive shadow. So I can never really tell if I'm like doing a good job or not until afterwards when I go look in a different mirror. So yes, there's that. All right, let me pat this in a little bit. And so, and then like one more thing I wanted to say to you guys, and this, I'm really only saying this because, like I said, it's the moon and there's no other ruling planet to talk about. But we'll just say that because the moon is in Cancer, which is one of the cardinal signs, obviously it's opposite Capricorn, which has all of our stuff, and we know that cardinal signs are a big focus right now. I am really liking this so far. I feel like I need this, and then I need a little more of that blush. It will also square the Sun and Venus and Mercury, which are now in Libra. So that will also happen, and it's like a quarter square of the moon, and those are kind of more tense times. So I would say generally and let's see, Libra is going to be in you're in ascendant in Cancer, so you have Leo on the 2nd, Virgo is going to be on your 3rd house. So there might be some tension around like communication, like learning, traveling, siblings, something like that. There might be a little tension in like 3rd house issues while the moon goes through Cancer because it will be squaring with those planets. All right, I'm going to put just a little bit more of this here blush on. And then I'm going to do the like luminizer over. I want to powder my face. Oh, I didn't do my under eye. Darn it. You know what? Let me do that. Okay, so yes, like with the moon in your 1st squaring the Sun and Venus, Mercury in the 3rd, there's probably like you probably have a lot of energy right now and Venus and Mercury there, so it's probably like you're probably wanting to be very communicative, very out like friendly, like very social, all that energy in the 3rd, maybe like taking trips, like seeing people, just talking a lot, getting a lot of knowledge, information, maybe taking classes, something like that. And so there may be just like some tension coming from like how that's impacting you personally somehow, because the moon goes through your 1st house, like in an emotional level, like you might feel some type of way about those things. But because Venus is there and Mercury's there, you probably do want to be doing that type of stuff right now. Like you probably are like enjoying it sort of because Venus is there. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it won't be a big thing, but there is that square going on from the moon, which is your emotions in your 1st house, or your internal self, your thought processes. Basically what controls what we do. Okay. And really, you guys, like, I say that's all I have to say for you. Like, that's, like, not a big deal. But I guess it's just, like, it's just kind of concise for you. And, it is a big deal. The North Node is in your sign. So that's, like, a huge deal. You guys are anchoring the energy of where we're all going. We all eventually need to, like, the way I see it, the North Node is trying to align us with our love, like our value, our nurturing, our ability to give that to ourselves, and therefore to become that and to be that for others and to make the world that. Like, it's all about like taking care and nurturing and like love and Cancer type stuff, like the home and security. Like, that's where our North Node is. Like, that's where the purge is trying to take us to, learn how to nurture ourselves, learn how to care for ourselves again, because if we can't do that, then there's no way we can be what we're meant to be. It's like something that's not cared for to its fullest capacity in the ways that it needs can never become what it truly could be if it had been, Like, we need to stop handicapping ourselves. And that's what the black moon and Neptune is about, is helping us stop handicapping ourselves by sabotaging ourselves based on programs that were installed, not even by us, you know? It may have been like even a generational thing with Saturn in the South Node in Capricorn. But it's all good. It's all working out. And we are trusting the outcome. All right. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say for you guys. You got Uranus making the sextile, trying to help you guys out. And then you got a conjunction with the North Node and an opportunity to see where you're at in terms of, you know, the work you have left to do, karma, baggage wise. All right, now I'm going to powder the bottom of my face, and then I'm going to throw on that luminizer, and then I'm going to do my setting powder. I need to do my mascara too. Maybe I'll do that next. All right, so yeah, that's basically what I gotta say. So let's talk makeup, finish this up, and then I'll do my recap. This is just my powder. It's just a mineral fusion, physician's formula. Just like basic mineral powder, but I just really like this. So I've been using it. Because when I like things, I tend to use them. Okay, where's my mascara? And I am using this because this is all I use anymore. Because it always does everything I want it to for a mascara. It is my 100% pure fruit pigmented green tea mascara. And it smells so good. And it works even better than it smells, which is like a hard pursuit. So you guys want an update on my handwork project? There's really not much of one. We're still pulling fleece. I'm honestly a little like intimidated about like putting it in the carders because I feel like, first of all, I feel like both of the boys are going to be fighting. Shiloh's, my younger son, is going to want to use the carders. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm trying to maybe do it when he's taking a nap. I don't know. But we're doing a really fantastic job of pulling it out. It's actually been, like, it's quite a cool thing. And that stuff is so soft. Like, I just want to make a quilt and put it inside, honestly. That's what I want to do with it. Yes. So, but it's for our projects, which we haven't actually started our projects yet. I'm a little intimidated by the handworking. I haven't done crafts since probably like I was in kindergarten myself, really. And I like doing crafts. But I just don't really know like how to do that stuff. Like I have to learn how to do it so that I can like give good directions and instructions on how to do it. And that's a little bit intimidating. Look at that mascara. It's just so good. All right, now let's do the other side. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how things go with the moon opposing Saturn for the first time. Oh, yes. Let's talk about what you guys might notice, you ascendants. Oh, I also forgot to talk about the moon and stelliums in Cancer. But for you ascendants, let's talk just for a second. Saturn just went direct in your 7th house. So if there's anything that has been seemed kind of like slowed, stagnated, not working, not moving forward, just frustrating the crap out of you, like not doing what you need it to do in terms of partnerships or relationships of any kind or other people, now that Saturn is direct, that stuff should start clearing up for you because that is like Saturn in your 7th. When Saturn retrogrades,
it kind of like stops things. And so any like progress or things with relationships that may have been like hindered or frustrated the past few months while Saturn's been retrograde should definitely start clearing up for you guys, because that relationships, that's the area of life that restructuring and transformation purge is happening for you guys. Now, in terms of you Cancer moons, you guys are, and people with a lot of Cancer planets and energy, like you guys are holding the frequency that is with that destiny point. Like you are, your energy body is a part of that realignment. And so this is an ongoing, something that's been like an ongoing thing for you guys. But as the moon goes through there, it just brings that extra level of emotionality and like sensitivity and deep feelingness and kind of like, it's like a, like, you know, like love, nurturing, but emotional connection type situation. And there's just going to be an extra triggering and infusion of that in with your either moon, your emotional body already, or all of your other personal planets. And the moon, because it is such like a trigger frequency, it is going to set off first Uranus and then Saturn South Node while it conjuncts the North Node, and then trine the Black Moon and Neptune, and then oppose Pluto, while also it makes the square to Mercury, Venus, and the Sun in Libra. So those things, just keep that in mind. That's the frequencies of the moon for this month, for this Cancer cycle. All right, I am going to slap on this luminizer that I want to use really quick. I don't use these very much, and I'm hoping that it works how I want it to. I'm not super nuts about these formulas, but, oh crap, I gotta plug in my computer. All right, so I am going to go into this shade right here, which, like I said, is like that nail polish color from the 90s that looks like a cream color, but then when you put it on, it also looks like purple. So let's see. Yeah, so once with the moon there, conjuncting your moon or all of your planets, that's just an extra dose of emotionality and like a trigger point. Yes. A trigger point for the energies that I just mentioned. So just keep in mind, for you guys with lots of Cancer energy, this is one of the main times a month that you could experience some of those like shifts and changes in your life. Yes. Oh, yes, this is doing what I was hoping. It's like adding like a really nice like glowy highlight everywhere, but also it has that kind of like iridescent sheen. You probably can't really tell so much in this light, but it will be fantastic. And just what I had in mind for my Moon Goddess Moon Day, to help me feel a little more emotionally powerful. Yes. All right. So there's that, guys. Now, let's get to the setting powder. Actually, let me throw a little bit of, I need a more silver highlighter. I've been using, I guess I'll just use, no, I'm going to use my luminizer from 100% Pure. And I just need to do a little bit down my nose and on my forehead and chin. And it's this. It's probably the most cool toned powder highlighter that I have right now. Most of them are like gold or like super icy. And I don't want like super sparkly today. I just want like luminous. So I'm going to use a luminizer. Yes. Very nice, very nice. Setting powder and a lip, setting powder and a lip. Where are you, bamboo setting powder that I love so much? 100% pure bamboo blur powder. This stuff is great. And because today I'm doing cream all over pretty much, I am going to set my face with this also. You know what? I feel like I need a tiny bit more concealer under my under eye, even though I already just did this setting powder. And that's like generally against my protocol. But I really want to do this, so I'm going to do this. I should have done this first, but I didn't. So I'm going to do it now. Yes. And then I'll just blend it and set it again. Yeah, Cancer moon is a pretty big deal each month just because of it. It's where the North Node is, and it opposes the big situation, and it also is in sextile to Uranus and trine to the Black Moon and Neptune. And those things in combination all make it like extremely, extremely important. So we are mindful of that when the moon goes through Cancer this month. Oh, I never said, if you have had as an ascendant in Cancer, that means that the new moon would have been in your third house. Like I said, some type of emphasis on communications, short distance travel, siblings, stuff like that. But, and that would have put the full moon right in your ninth with the Black Moon and Neptune. So starting from the beginning of the month with a new moon in Virgo, there may have been a lot of emphasis on communications, learning, classes, short distance travel, siblings, back and forths with people, getting information, chatter, stuff like that. And then as we progress through the full moon, there may have been some type of emphasis on those belief systems, those underlying belief systems, which are kind of holding you back for the full moon. But the square that I was talking about would be from your fourth house. So that's like, which is the house ruled by Cancer. So of the home, of the mother, of nurturing, stuff like that. So yeah, there may be tension around the home and things surrounding the home as the moon goes through Cancer, which is the house that the moon rules, because of that square to the cardinal signs. The planets have now moved into Libra, which is your fourth, and the first will square the fourth. So I hope that clarifies things. All right, I'm going to do my lips now because I got to wrap this up. This is the Mineral Fusion Pencil Elegant, and I'm just going to do I'm going to use this and then like the Outback Oasis shimmer that I always use, and I'm just going to do like a kind of like silvery nude lip. Okay, so we are lined, and now I am going to go into this Outback Oasis Gloss Crayon from Burt's Bees, who I love, and that's going to be our color for today. I love this color. I use it on top of other colors a lot. I don't wear it alone that much, but today it's going to be exactly what I want. Like, see, it's got like just like a really kind of like silvery sheen to it, even though it's like totally just like a nude beige color. It's got like some type of like cool undertone or something. I don't know. And I definitely want a glossy gloss for today. All right, guys. Well, this is what we're working with. I am going to go put the finishing touches on my whole self and situation for today, and then I will be back to do a whole recap of the look and a whole recap of the astrology. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so here I am back with my full put together Moon and Cancer look for today. Like I said before, I am totally trying to channel like the Mother Moon Goddess vibe, just super pretty, super moonlit, luminous, some blues for the water theme, and something that just makes me feel pretty and nurtured and cared for and also able to give that to the world. So that's what we're doing for the Moon in Cancer for today. For my makeup, I went into the lightest shade in the Pink Nudes Pacifica palette that I always use as a general base. And then I went over the top with the color Quartz out of the new Cosmic Reflex palette, Pacifica Hemp Formulas. Love it. This color, that one in the corner. And then I lined my lash line with one of these here Pacifica priming pencils just to get a nice like matte bright layer to go over. And then I went, first I used this Zuzu color in the crease of my eye, Zuzu Luxe. It's the color Skylar. I love it. It's super light and shimmery, but it's still pigmented, like it's still blue, but it looks really silver up against the boysenberry that after that, I primed my eye with the pencil, and then I went over the top with this boysenberry shade from the All Natural Face, which is a really pretty blue shimmer, and I went around my whole eye with that just to give it the vibe, blue, moon goddess, silverish, yes, water that I was looking for. After that, I used my black tea mascara from 100% Pure, which I absolutely love, and it's pretty much the only mascara I use anymore. Thank you, 100% Pure. And what else did I do? For my cheeks today, I used a Burt's Bees Lip and Cheek in the shade Sands, just to get kind of like a nice nude cheek. And then I went over it with this highlighter out of the original Pacifica Solar Palette. And it's like that color, like I said, of that nail polish from the 90s where it looks like just like cream frosting color, but then it's like iridescent purple. And actually, you can't see, my makeup looks so beautiful today. Like my lighting isn't super great right now, so you can't really see how pretty it really is. But when I went out in the other mirror and looked at it, I was like, oh, it looks so pretty, especially the skin makeup. Like those cream products lay down so well on top of each other. And then I put my bamboo blur powder from 100% Pure over it all. And it is just like so smooth, so even, so perfect. I am loving my makeup today. And it is making me feel very what I wanted. We'll just say that. I like it, and I feel much more, I don't know, Mother Moon since I've put it on. Okay, so for my lips, I did a line in, I did a line in the color Elegant from Mineral Fusion, one of my Mineral Fusion pencils, and then I just went over the top in Sedona Sands, my Burt's Bees gloss crayon, Sedona Sand, no, Outback Oasis, scratch that, Outback Oasis. And it's just this really pretty, like, nude color, but it has sort of like a silver glossy thing to it going on. I love that shade. So that's the makeup. I wanted to stay, like, really in, like, the more silvery shimmer realms of things today. And I really liked that, like, Pacifica highlighter that I used over the Burt's Bees and underneath the blur powder. Yes, and I'm loving my eye look too. In terms of the astrology, as the moon goes into Cancer this month, Cancer is a big sign because it's housing the North Node right now, which means it's opposite the South Node, Saturn, Pluto. And so basically what will happen for all of us and for you Cancer ascendants, this will be happening mainly in your first, ninth, your first and seventh houses, and then also in your ninth house. So basically, what we got going on is the moon, our emotions, our feelings, and our feelings usually cause us to do things. So that's kind of why it's like a trigger point planet when it comes through. It will come through Cancer. It will conjunct the North Node. It will oppose the South Node and Saturn, who has just recently stationed direct. So this will be the first time that the moon opposes the South Node and Saturn, who are in a pretty close conjunction since Saturn stationed direct. So we need to be aware of that. Well, actually, first, when the moon goes into Taurus, it will sextile Uranus. So there's a possibility for shakeups and surprises, but in ultimately a good way in whatever area of life Uranus is currently working on. Then it will conjunct the North Node, oppose the South Node, oppose Saturn, who is recently stationed direct. So to me, that's kind of like us kind of coming into contact with where we're at in relation to what we still need to do in terms of letting go of that baggage. And then immediately after that, it will form a trine with Neptune in the Black Moon. And for you, Cancer ascendants, that will be in your 9th house, something related to belief systems held about something. So it will trine Neptune and the Black Moon, and then it will oppose Pluto. During this time, it will also be squaring the Sun, Venus, and Mercury, who have recently moved into Libra. So what does this mean for us? It means Uranus is working with the moon and the North Node to align us with our highest and our best, because that's what Uranus does. It creates shakeups to essentially make us do things that we wouldn't necessarily do on our own to get us to where we really need to be. And then it will conjunct the North Node, the destiny point, while it opposes the South Node and newly direct Saturn. Things may start moving forward for us that have been kind of frustrating and holding us back maybe in various aspects of life. But to me, when the moon does that, we're kind of subconsciously looking at ourselves, seeing where we're at, seeing where else we have to go. And then we move into the trine where Neptune and the Black Moon are trying to help us come to clarity about something, or heal or resolve or dissolve some issue in regards to our shadow side, which, like I said, for you Cancer ascendants, that's going to be something regarding belief systems. And then it's going to move to oppose Pluto, where we get rid of the trash, where we get down to business and get to the depths of it, get to the root of the problem and clear it out. So basically, those are the dynamics that we're looking at and that are in play over the next few days while the moon goes through Cancer. Now, for you Cancer ascendants, like I said, this is going to be very heavy on your 1st and 7th house axis of like the self and others, your person and other people. The North Node is in your 1st house, so something about you and who you are is trying to be aligned with where you need to be and what's happening. Like there may be things happening in relationships, partnerships, or just with other people generally that is being purged, changed, and completely restructured in terms of your relationships, relationship patterns, maybe something like that. And this is being assisted, like I said, by the Black Moon that's going through your 9th house right now, which is trying to help bring you to some type of clarity about your belief systems about something, or your truth, the way you see truth or reality in regards to some situation. Black Moon, Neptune in the 9th house. So that's what you guys got going on this month. Moon and stellium Cancer people, you guys just keep holding strong. You are anchoring that North Node. You are anchoring the place where we all need to get to. And you guys are having your own personal transformations depending on how your charts are laid out to help bring you there as well. But your energy is really fundamental to helping us all at this point in time make the transformations, make the transitions, make the evolutions that we need to make in order to successfully carry out this grand purge, conjunction, transformation, transfiguration, alchemical alchemy of life that's happening in January of 2020 with the conjunction of Pluto, Saturn, South Node, Capricorn. There's the astrology for today, and there's the makeup. So I guess we can just say there's the AstroBeauty situation. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you tune in next time for the moon in Leo. And I'll see you then. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Astro Beauty out.